Okay, thank you very much.
I support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas. And I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman upon which I'm now about to enter. So help me God. If you can fill out these, we'll get them signed and executed.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas. And I will well discharge the duties of Alderman upon which I'm now about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
That's why you said it.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of City Attorney upon which I'm now about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations, City Attorney.
Thank you.
I, William Brown Jr., do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Alderman upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Very good. Congratulations, sir. My eldest son, William Brown Jr., my baby son, Gavin Brown, my wife, Claire, my daughter-in-law, Carol Matthews Brown. These are my two grands. That's Trey Caitlin. That's Trey William Brown Jr. III. This is Caitlin Morgan Brown. We are going to do private music. Thank you.
The Bluff City Council meeting of January the 5th, 2015 is hereby called to order. May we have roll call, please?
Alderman Blunt.
Here.
Alderman Steph.
Here.
Alderman Walker. Present. Alderman Boyd.
Here.
Alderman Brown Senior.
Here.
Alderman May.
Here.
Alderman Holcomb.
Here.
Alderman Brown Jr.
Here. Here.
Thank you. Each of you have a copy of the minutes from December the 15th, 2014. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Why did I have to go through all that? You should have said that earlier. Oh, sorry. Anyway, can I have a second?
Say no.
Second, okay.
Yes, I
thank
do
you.
have one correction, and I can't find it at this time, but it was I think it was on the budget where it was a 7-1 or something, and I did not vote for it, and I'm trying to find it right now. However, I will find it and get it to the clerk's office. I can't find it at this time, and I want to hold a meeting up.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of a yes or a no on that, and I think it's about the budget.
Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to committee reports, Ways and Means, Alderman Brummett. Oh, yes, thank you. I have it written down for me. There was a request made at the last city council meeting that as we approve commissioners or board members to different boards, that they be present at the committee, at the council meeting or a picture. So the last board that we filled was the Code Enforcement Board of Adjustments. And in doing so, we had the first meeting today at 10 o'clock. With those present on the Code Enforcement Board of Adjustment, please stand. We should have 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if you don't mind, where you're standing, if you would please state your name and your profession as to how you will be represented on the board. Mr. Ellis?
Roger Ellis, Ellis Plumbing.
Okay. Okay.
Dave Tagler, Nelson. Frank Washington, Washington.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, very much for serving. Thank you, thank you. A lot of volunteer time. Now, on to committee reports. Ways and Means.
Yes, Mayor, the new Ways and Means Committee met 5 o'clock, and we discussed a budget adjustment request from the Inspection Department concerning additional 2014 budget funds for structural assessment of the VFW building and band museum funded from within the department. As you see, the total is $2,200. It comes from within the department, an adjustment, so there's no new money that's required. I move we accept this request from the Inspection Department.
Second.
Been properly moved and second that a budget adjustment in the amount of $2,200 for structural assessment of the VFW building and the band museum building be approved. Floor is now open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, I move that the bills that the city owes be paid.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the bills for the city be paid. Floor is open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes Ways and Means. Now, wait. One of the things that the Ways and Means Committee did request, Mayor, is that for you to give us an update or review on the activities involved with collections of fees and fines and so on within the Collector's Department and what we can expect in the next few weeks.
Okay, the City Collector's Office, our Director, Sharon Johnson, has been working very hard. Is Sharon here? Oh, there you are. She can give us, are you prepared to? Okay. She has been working very, very hard with New World and getting our system integrated and the New World system on board. City Collector's Office takes care of issuing business license in the city of Pine Bluff. And the conversion from the old system to the new system, we found that we had several people in which had become very far behind in paying their business license. That is done on a yearly basis. So what we did this past year was continue to work through the conversion. And then after we did that, we had to scrub the list, meaning we really wanted to make sure that we were working from a list that was a good list. So we've done all of that. Now, through this process, and Ms. Johnson, correct me if I'm wrong, during 3 different mailing cycles, the certified notices have gone out to the business owners that are behind in their business license, and we're talking several years behind in their business license. So certified notices have gone out to these businesses, and they have been noticed. So what will take place now, come January the 8th, is that they will be issued a citation, and they will be told that they have to cease doing business or get the business license, get the payment caught up out of the rears. So she has worked very hard with her group to get this to where we have a good list to work from. So that will be starting January the 8th. So with the alderpersons, you may get a phone call If you do so, you can direct that call to our office, or you can direct it to Ms. Johnson, and we will be able to look it up, make sure that everything is according to what we have in our system, and then we'll work from there. Yes, sir.
I was just wondering, how many businesses are we talking about?
We're looking at maybe 200, am I correct? About 200 businesses that are in the rears significantly.
Let me ask you a question also.
Yes, sir.
Are there penalties involved in this?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that maybe if we send out a decree that to encourage them to come in, if they come in a certain period of time, that we be willing to forgive the penalties?
I think so. And I think what will happen is if they respond in a timely manner, Ms. Johnson's going to work with them. We want them to come in and talk to us. We want them to acknowledge, well, we know they've acknowledged it because they have signed the return receipt card. So we know that they're in possession of all the notices.
Right, so if we would do something like that and put it in the paper and let the people know, if you respond by a certain time, you have this grace period that we're gonna forgive the penalties for those periods. Then after that, then it would be business as usual.
And I'm in favor of whatever y'all want to do. Yes, sir.
What would be that grace period?
They'd have to work that out, give them 30 days or 45 days, I don't know. But I think that we would need to give something.
If you want to do 15 days or 30 days grace period, we can do that. It's up to y'all.
I would recommend that we go ahead and do a motion to try to set some guidelines for them if y'all want to.
Well, may I say something when
Yes, sir.
it's time? May I speak?
Yes, sir.
Is it, now, my thing is the grace period and working with them. We just don't want to go start shutting businesses down. We shouldn't do that because some of them are trying to make money with all the fees and things that they're paying. We need to be more lenient with them. I mean, I understand some of them probably are behind, but I don't think we need to go start shutting down doors because, instead of trying to work with them. That's just what Alderman Steps is saying. Because we're going to get phone calls, and we all know that, and we're going to respond as well. And
No, you didn't hear what I said. I said the penalty phase of it.
I understand what you're saying.
No, I didn't say
Not-
shut nobody down.
I didn't say that now,
Now,
George.
watch this.
Okay.
But by the same token, if you don't have some guidelines that set that you're gonna stand by, you're gonna continue to go back through the same process over and over and over. So if you set some guideline, there has to be some stipulations that's gonna be in there that the people are gonna adhere to. I didn't say me to go out, I said that there ought to be a time frame that if they come in within 30 days, that the penalty will be forgiven. And after that will be business as usual. Now, if that means that we got some guidelines out there that's saying that they're gonna be closed down after that period of time, then we got some guidelines and stipulations that's already in place. Not none that I set, but this council has set forth.
The ordinance speaks that, and what we've been talking about, if they will come in, respond to the letter, and they will come in, and if they're significantly in the rears and set up a payment plan, and they adhere to that payment plan, and they're showing good faith in that payment plan, then business as usual. We're not wanting to shut one door down. But at the same time, too, these people that are in business, that are in the rears and know that they're in the rears, and know that the business license is something they have to have, and continue to turn a deaf ear to it and ignore it, then something should be done. Because the people that do adhere to the rules and the laws, what's to say that they won't start doing the exact same thing?
I understand what you're saying. I wasn't saying, what I'm saying is, I feel like we should just continue to be business friendly to them.
We will.
Business friendly, be business friendly to them. Reach out a hand if we can waive the penalties. I mean, that's whatever we can do to help them, to keep them afloat. We need all the businesses we can here in order to keep our business foundation in order.
that's basically what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying from me.
Well, I think that we've heard that. Someone wants to entertain a motion that we have a grace period, and if that's the case, then it would move it to February the 7th or February the 8th before we started with going out and
Well, I certainly will make that motion. And we are a tax-dying-based town, and we certainly would like to make sure that people are paying their taxes. And at the same time, we want to make sure that we do work with the businesses that we do have. So I will make that motion to give them grace periods. And I certainly hope that will work out, because we need every business, and we do need you paying your taxes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, is that 30 days from the date of the notice is sent out?
No, ma'am, we're going to do 30 days from the day that Friday, which is the 8th or 9th. Right, 8th or 9th was the day in which we were going to go out and start taking care of all of it. Yes, sir.
Is there not a procedure in the ordinance that dictates some of these things to you guys?
As far as the grace period?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they've had several grace
I was
periods.
going to say, I think if you'll check this
Yes.
all out, this is not people that have just all of a sudden gotten this. This has been going on.
No, there's
for a
several
long
grace
time.
periods. When the business license goes out, you have 30 days to pay it. After the 30 days, then you have another 30 days, and it's considered 30 days delinquent. Then after that, 60 days, that's when the penalty phase starts in. So they are given plenty of time, plenty of notice to know what needs to be done. One of the things that we want to err on the side of caution is this is making sure that what we show is being past due is what they show. This is the very first test that we have had actually since the conversion into New World. So we're going to go about this in a very diplomatic way, but at the same time, we've got to conduct the test. So if this person is 4 years past due, which we have quite a few that are in business today, then we want to make sure that their records match up with our records.
Also,
Yes,
to be current, so if they're 4 years behind, should they, to start the payment plan, should they pay a year and then kind of catch up with it? Or how would that payment plan work on it?
It'll be up to them and our city collector.
Okay.
We do not have a set, it will really be up to their payment ability.
But I think what I'm hearing is that they would have to keep their current taxes, keep it current
Yes,
along with their payment plan.
yes, absolutely, yes, yes. Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
The goal is, of course, is to clean it up. It's been an ongoing problem. We've got this new software and new computer system in place that now we can actually, she's going to be able to give us reports within the next quarter, I'm hoping, where we'll be able to look at those lists and we will actually post past due lists, and then hopefully we can get involved and help our constituents get current. That's the goal I've got with the whole thing. Is for 30 days. Is that correct, Mr. Brown, that you made the motion? Okay.
Any other discussion?
So we're giving them another 30 days to get straight, make a deal to make their payments, and then we'll start the issuing citations.
Or
All right.
ceasing business?
Yeah, they'll actually get what be a cease and desist order from
Yes.
that'll be delivered by the police department. Okay, thank you.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Ordinances and resolutions, Alderman Brummett.
First off, I'd like to bring everybody up to date on the new committee assignments. I'll just run through them real quickly, and they will be updated by the mayor's office and posted on the website. Ordinance and resolutions will be the 3 senior members, which will be myself, Ms. Walker, Mr. Steps. Ways and Means, I'll be chairman of Ways and Means. Brown Jr. is on the committee along with Alderman Steps. Community Development chairman will be Alderman Mays, with Alderman Walker and Alderman Brown Sr. Public Health and Welfare chairman will be Glenn Brown Jr., with Alderman Boyd and Alderman Brown Sr. Public Works will be Stephen Mays, Bill Brummett, Alderman Holcomb. Development and Planning will be Charles Boyd will be chair, with Alderman Brown Jr. and Alderman Holcomb. Administration chair will be Alderman Steps, along with Alderman Brown Sr. and Alderman Walker. Public Safety chairman will be Alderman Walker, with Bill Brummett and Alderman Steps. Traffic and Aviation chair will be Alderman Holcomb, with Charles Boyd and Stephen Mays as committee members. I'd like to move that we accept these committee assignments.
It's been properly moved and second that the committee assignments as read be approved. Any discussion?
I just had one thing. I think on the community development, I don't know if you said, I'm sorry, I think you may have said somebody else, but Brown Sr. is chair of that one. I don't know if you said that or not.
Okay.
Okay, I was just trying to make sure.
One more thing, I'm the chair of Public Works. It seemed like you said something
They're
else.
in a little bit of a different order, I'm
That's what I
sorry.
figured.
Right.
Yeah, I had a
But,
list here.
Thinking too.
Yeah, but they'll be properly done when they're put on the website and posted and so on. I'm sorry, but you're correct. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And Mayor, as far as the ordinance and resolutions on the agenda tonight, item 1 is being pulled by the sponsor. Item 2 will be up for the third and final reading. Item 3 will be the second reading, and we'll complete the resolutions. Resolution number 5 has some corrections. When it's read, please note those. That concludes the report.
Thank you, sir. Economic and Community Development, Alderwoman Walker.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public Health and Welfare, Alderman Holcomb.
No report, Mayor, but I would like to thank Ms. Lillian Harris, who came out in support of ordinance number 3. She in support of ordinance of streetlights. She, along with the others in the city, are in support of this ordinance, and she has brought along tonight signatures in support of this ordinance. I just want to thank her for her support, and that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Public Works, Alderman Mays.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Public Works, well, first of all, I just want to ask you all about the cameras that we had voted on, I believe, for the dumping, for the illegal dumping last year. Some members of the West Side Neighborhood Loop Association asked me to mention that, and that's what I'm doing. We still need cameras to help stop our dumping in our city. I think we voted on that. We never did come up with a solution to get them put up. And if you look at, we had a meeting this morning, Public Works did, Alderman Steps and myself, and a few more members were there. And we mentioned about the lights, number 3, actually to come to the council, and there was more recommendations. It's the sponsor is Alderman Holcomb, and I'm supporting it all the way with him, but there should be some more discussion about it when the time comes around. And I'm asking you all, if you would, I need your support. I'm asking for your support on number 5. The opposition of the rate of the 28% rate hike on the citizens of Pine Bluff. I have a new resolution up with some corrections in it and a co-sponsor page on the bottom. Many of our citizens have called me. I'm pretty sure they have called you all about the rate hike. That's quite a bit as far as the taxpayers in the city of Pine Bluff. And I'm asking for your opposition and that we move as swiftly as possible as a unit to make this happen, and follow it all the way to the Public Service Commission. And if some of us have to go up there and speak against it, I'm willing to do that, to find some time to go, because our citizens, young and old, Black and White, have been calling, and they are really in opposition to this as well. And some of them have asked me to ask you all to support this, and let's ride it all the way to the Public Service Commission and stop this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Development and Planning, Alderman Boyd.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Traffic and Aviation, Alderman Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. It's Happy New Year, 2005 to everybody that's listening and those that are not. I will probably be the same way this year as I was last year, and I just say that we need to broaden our tax base, and we need to get our lenders to invest back into Pine Bluff. We need what I would call a better quality of life and better quality of place. Quality of life is the things that you have and you enjoy, shopping, eating, or recreation. Quality of place is where you live, your neighborhoods, and the advantages and disadvantages in your neighborhood. So I would ask that, we work on that this year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Administration,
No
Alderman
report,
Smith.
Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
There's no
Okay,
report from
no
Public
report.
Safety.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on to ordinances and resolutions.
Mayor, we have an ordinance amending Section 10-28 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to change the title of the Deputy Chief of the Fire and Emergency Services Department to Assistant Chief, up for the third and final reading.
An ordinance amending Section 10-28 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to change the title of the Deputy Chief of the Fire and Emergency Services Department to Assistant Chief.
Move for adoption.
It's been properly moved and second that an ordinance amending Section 10-28 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to change the title of the Deputy Chief of the Fire and Emergency Services Department to Assistant Chief. Floor is now open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, we have an ordinance providing for the methodical installation of additional streetlights within the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and for related purposes, up for the second reading.
An ordinance providing for the methodical installation of additional street lights within the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and for related purposes.
We'll place it on the calendar. We have a resolution directing the city attorney to research the transfer and benefit of the partnership between the City of Pine Bluff and Jefferson County of the Jefferson County Recycling and E-Waste Center.
Whereas pursuant to Resolution Number 3750, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with Jefferson County for a recycling center operation, the City of Pine Bluff merged its recycling operation with Jefferson County with the understanding that it would become the Pine Bluff/Jefferson County Recycling Center. However, it has now become the Jefferson County Recycling and E-Waste Center. And whereas, according to an article in the Pine Bluff Commercial dated Tuesday, December 30th, 2014, it was reported that the Jefferson County Recycling and E-Waste Center is projected to make between $450,000 and $500,000 this year. However, there was no projection of when any portion of the net profits would be realized by the City of Pine Bluff. The City of Pine Bluff should be part of the decision-making process. And whereas, pursuant to the aforementioned Memorandum of Understanding, Article 5 states, the county further acknowledges that the city will provide county, any agent, any and all grant proceeds that city receives for providing cycle services, and that that county will share with the city a portion of the net profits from the recycling operations. City share of the net profits of the recycling operations shall at no time exceed 10% of the net profits of the recycling operations contemplated under this agreement. And whereas, because the City Council wishes to evaluate the benefits of the merge, the City Attorney should research the transfer and the benefits of the partnership with Jefferson County. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Attorney is directed to research the transfer and benefit of the partnership between the City of Pine Bluff and Jefferson County of the Jefferson County Recycling and E-Waste Center. Section 2, that the City Attorney shall report her findings to the council members at the next council meeting.
Move for adoption.
It's been properly moved and second that a resolution directing the city attorney to research the transfer and benefit of the partnership between the City of Pine Bluff and Jefferson County of the Jefferson County Recycling and E-Waste Center. Floor is now open for discussion.
Mayor, I wanted to explain my concern about this recycling. In the beginning, Pine Bluff had the recycling business, and we were getting grants and operating. And it was supposed to, our recycling was supposed to be moved from off of Harding Street to the area where it is now. But there was a change of heart by the county, so that was not done. And then under Mayor Hollingsworth's administration, that she entered into a agreement with Jefferson County and I believe Whitehall. There is supposed to be a board of one person, the mayor, Dutch King, and I think Noel Foster. And now out of this, in the beginning, it was Pine Bluff Recycling. Once it got started, then it became Pine Bluff Jefferson County Recycling. And now it's Jefferson County Recycling. Pine Bluff is completely out of it. And also, it stated that at no time would Pine Bluff profits exceed 10% of the overall net profit. Well, you know, that's saying we will get nothing, because at this particular time, there are people that work for Jefferson County, and they work out there part-time. But as far as I know, no one from Pine Bluff works out there. So that cuts down on the profit as well. And also, there was an agreement that that was passed around through, I think, Dutch King, the mayor, and Noel Foster, I'm assuming, that out of the profits that Whitehall would get, I was thinking it was 40%, but evidently it's 45% since we're only getting 10. That Whitehall would get 45%, Jefferson County would get 45%, and we would get 10% of the net profit, but we were to put our 10% back in there because we were not in the business of making money. So I don't understand how Pine Bluff is not in the business of making money when the other two cities are. Since it was, the recycling was actually Pine Bluffs in the beginning. So I asked the city attorney to do some research as to actually the legality of this whole situation, because we just can't give away recycling. Recycling is big business, and there will be millions made, and Pine Bluff will not reap anything. So I'm asking for your support on it. Yes, sir.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm fully in support of this. I'm noticing the initial plan was to call it Pine Bluff Jefferson County. And for the citizens of Pine Bluff, if you kind of look around, a lot of our things that used to represent Pine Bluff Pine Bluff is being taken off a lot of things. And that's our job to try to correct that and stop it as soon as possible. We have to put Pine Bluff back on things. If you just look around, pay attention to things, Pine Bluff is not being represented inside Pine Bluff like it's supposed to. It's like this right here, things are becoming Jefferson County in Pine Bluff instead of Pine Bluff. I'm in full support of this. Thank you.
Comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. We have a resolution expressing the opposition of the city of Pine Bluff, Arkansas to an increase in water rates for Pine Bluff customers sought by Liberty Utilities Incorporated.
Whereas Liberty Utilities Incorporated has applied with the Arkansas Public Service Commission for a water rate increase, and whereas in these difficult economic times, increasing the cost of such a basic necessity of life such as water will work hardships on the most vulnerable members of the community who have fixed incomes and little margin for increased living costs. And whereas municipal government has the obligation to express opposition to the actions which will cause hardship to the community. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, that we, on behalf of the citizens of the City of Pine Bluff, hereby express our community's opposition to the water rate increase sought by Liberty's Utilities Incorporated before the Arkansas Public Service Commission and ask the commission to reject the requested increase. The mayor shall ensure that a copy of this resolution is promptly sent to the Arkansas Public Service Commission to file in docket number 14-20-U and for its consideration with regard to the requested rate increase.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that a resolution expressing the opposition of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to an increase in water rates for Pine Bluff customers sought by Liberty Utilities Incorporated. Floor is now open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor-
Well, may I speak? I know I spoke earlier, just want to confirm that our citizens are looking for us to do our best to stop this. We made some corrections in here, but like I said, this is a cleaner page, the one that you have with the co-sponsors on it. This is wrong. It's unfair. It's unjust to have us pay for something that our citizens pay for. Liberty's purchasing the water systems from Whitehall, Arkansas, for us to come back in and make payments on things. And I don't think that's fair for the citizens of Pine Bluff. A lot of citizens have called. I know they probably have called y'all and stopped y'all on the streets and mentioned this. And we need to do all that we can. Mayor, if you would, help us with this, because it's hard to get these utility companies on the carpet as well. I've been trying to get them on the carpet with these franchise fees, and you got to email people, you got to call people, and nobody wants to come up front and talk about this stuff. It's all done in the dark, and our citizens are tired of that. I'm letting you all know, Pine Bluff, the utility companies are not for Pine Bluff. And I need you all to help me and help us to bring them on the carpet where we can talk to these general managers and things. All of them are backing up and not coming forward. I'm letting you all know. I've tried to call them. You can't reach them. It's like going through a tunnel. They won't respond. You got to go through 4 or 5 people to get to one person. And if you look on your utility bills, you'll see a municipal franchise adjustment fee on all your bills. That's money that we're losing with that zip code, the 71602 zip code. That money should be funded funneled back into the City of Pine Bluff to help us move forward. And once again, I'm asking you all, help us with the utility company because they won't respond to anybody. Mayor, I'm asking you and the rest of the council as well to help be more effective in trying to pull them on the carpet. They would not show up for meetings. They would not send a representative or nothing. I'm letting you citizens of Pine Bluff know what's going on up here, and it's not fair. And now they want a 28% rate hike on your water bill. If you go out and buy something after Christmas sale with 28%, that's a big discount. Now just think if you have $15 or $20 added to your water bill. That's not fair to the citizens of Pine. I'm letting y'all know what's going on, and you need to wake up, because if you don't, they're going to just take all of our money out of here.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, thank you. First of all, I want to set the record straight that Alderman Mays is not having to beg the city council to support this legislation. We were all in agreement in the first place. It was actually given to, that I actually discussed it with Alderman Mays. It's not about credit, and it's not about I. It's we. And I told him that if you sponsor a resolution and your name is on it, when it goes to the Public Service Commission, it does not mean anything. And that's mean his name, one other name, it can be any one name. I says, if what you need is you need the total council support, because that way they know that we are speaking for all of Pine Bluff. It's not just one person flipping off because they trying to save the world. We all trying to save our citizens.
One thing, yes, sir.
That's the part that concerns me. Because that when the citizens called, this was already in the making. Alderman Walker had already put it in motion and called each older person to ask for the support. But when we turned around, and that's what makes the citizen think, oh, they're not concerned, because they only see the one person that's on the radio, they only see the one person on the television, and he keeps saying, Now you come back in here to this council and said, I need you all support. The time to ask for the support was before you got out front to make it appear like the council is not in support of that. We are all in support of not having to pay high water bills because it affects all of us. But we don't need to go out there because we want some credit for it. Let's get consolidated because in numbers there's strength. But when you're out there by yourself, they think you just the only one that care. No, they're not going to listen to you. But they will if you got support with all of the council persons supporting it, including the mayor. So those are the things that we have to do to make sure that we're not isolated out there, because that when it bogs down, then you come back, I got to have your help. You got to get the help before you get out there.
I'd like to make one comment before this goes to vote. I do not have enough information on what the rate increase is about. So what I did this afternoon, I met with Liberty Water, Pete Lucas, who is the general manager here. I asked him some tough questions. Number one, the rate increase has nothing to do with Liberty Waters purchasing the water system at Whitehall. Nothing. I asked him, how can that be? How can you prove that to me? PSC, Public Service Commission, will not allow that. So it has nothing to do with them purchasing the water system in Whitehall. And if you don't believe me or him, you can call the Public Service Commission and they will verify that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm either pro or con. I will go with whatever the city council votes for. But I do not want inaccurate information put out there. That is not factual. The other thing that is not factual is that they will most likely not get a 28%. It's just like when you're setting a budget, you're going to ask for the top. You might get half. You might get half. I'm just telling you the facts of what he said to me. And they have been working on this for 6 to 9 months. So, as a citizen, do your due diligence, ask the questions, call the Public Service Commission, and ask them yourself. But it is not an increase for Whitehall water system. So let's be clear on that. Now, any other comments? Yes, sir.
I'd like to also point out that the new manager for Liberty came to a town hall meeting probably 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and explained this whole thing to us at the town hall meeting. So it's not like they just didn't advise us. They told us at that town hall meeting. He's also been to the meetings here and been to the Public Works, been at some committee meeting I went to where they were talking about putting in the new meters around town. I mean, it's not like they've been avoiding us. They've been trying to keep us informed. They are, and as the mayor says, it's up to the Public Service Commission. I have no problem with signing on to this and supporting it, but it's going to be up to the Public Service Commission, and usually they're not going to get 28%. They'll get significantly less than that. So as far as this resolution is concerned, I support it. Thank you.
In Public Service Commission, one more comment, maybe too much details, but they base that increase on your ROEs, which is your return on earnings. So they have to present their earnings for so many years and what type of return that they're getting. It's based on their investment. One other thing I want to say here is be careful what you ask for. Because if you don't, if a utility company, they provide a service to us. Yes, we've got to make sure that that is top-notch service. But if they do not have investment dollars to go back in and reinvest in the infrastructure and what we're getting here, You pay for what you get. So we just need to do our homework and understand what the increase is all about. And I don't know that we've all done that. I know I haven't. Yes, sir.
Would it be possible for us to sit down and talk with that gentleman you spoke?
Yes, sir. He would love to do that. Yes.
We set up a meeting.
Yes, sir. We could do that. Yes, ma'am.
Well, you were saying about the profits or the service or whatever.
Return on earnings.
Yes, because when we had United Water, we had excellent service. And we had very few people complaining about their bills and the rudeness and that type of thing. So it's not like that they have bought something new to the city. But people cannot afford a 28%. They really can't. There are a lot of people can't afford a 10%. So that's the whole thing. So I'm still asking here for the support along with all of the council members, because if we say nothing, we will get nothing.
May I say something else?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a selfish person. I've ran this across many of you all. I just asked anyway, again. The thing about it is a 28% is too high, and if they're going for a 28%, if they get a 15 or 16, that's still too much on the citizens of Pine Bluff. And the citizens of Pine Bluff are asking for no increase right now. That's what they're asking for. I mean, I've reached out to all y'all. I thank you, but this is a joint effort, and that's the way I'm not trying to take full control and toot my own horn. I'm just asking us to move as a unit in 2015 to continue to help our citizens like we've been doing.
Well, my only comment to all of that is I think that we need to do our homework and understand what the rate increase is before you say what you're saying, because I don't know that. So you'll be doing the vote. Okay, may we have roll call, please?
Alderman Brummett.
Aye.
Alderman Steph.
Aye.
Alderman Walker.
Aye.
Alderman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderman Brown Senior.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Holcomb.
Aye.
Alderman Brown Jr.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. Mayor, we have a resolution authorizing the city of Pine Bluff to enter into a sub-recipient agreement with the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Economic Research and Development Center and to support housing rehabilitation and development in University Park and other near-end neighborhoods.
Whereas the City of Pine Bluff and the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, via the Economic Research and Development Center, has a successful history of collaborating together on community, economic, and business development projects and services. And whereas the City of Pine Bluff and UAPB executed a memorandum of agreement on July 6, 2009 via Resolution 3175 to foster and promote small business development in designated revitalization areas of the city. And whereas the Memorandum of Understanding authorized the City of Pine Bluff to provide funding from its Economic and Community Development Department to match dollar for dollar with funds provided by the UAPB ERDC to create and capitalize the UAPB City of Pine Bluff Revolving Loan Fund for the express purpose of providing loans to small businesses operating in designated revitalization areas of the city. And whereas the City of Pine Bluff, through Resolution Number 3714, authorized the mayor to sign and execute the First Amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding with the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff on June 16, 2014, and provide funding to the UAPB Economic Research and Development Center to support its operations and provision of services rendered. And whereas it is in the city's interest to continue to partner with UAPB in efforts that generate economic development in the community. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, the mayor is hereby authorized to sign the attached sub-award agreement with the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff to carry out a special neighborhood housing rehabilitation and development program with UAPB's Economic Research and Development Center. The scope of work will be carried out by the Economic and Community Development Department of the city with monitoring oversight by the ERDC. The City of Pine Bluff will be required to provide funding from its Economic and Community Development Department to match funds provided by UAPB ERDC.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that a resolution authorizing the city of Pine Bluff to enter into a sub-recipient agreement with the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Economic Research and Development Center and to support housing rehabilitation and development in University Park and other near-end neighborhoods. Floor is now open for discussion.
Madam,
Yes, sir.
this is something Mr. Gillette, project that he's got going, I think with some grant where he's wanting to partner with the city. I think, is Mr. Matthews still? He could really explain it to us there in depth, what we got going on here.
Good afternoon. For those of you all who don't know, we've had a long-standing relationship with UAPB, a research center. Mr. Golette is over it. They happen to have some funds that they got from HUD that they need to spend with regards to housing rehab around the university. They have a mandate to kind of help the neighborhoods around the university and the University Park area. They do not have the manpower at this time to fully execute all the processes in doing the rehab. So we have offered them, and we've jointly talked about, we do it all the time. We cover the full city with rehabs, and we would love to join in with them in improving the University Park area, since this is a designated area for the city to improve with all the other activities we have going on. So we have worked out an agreement with them that they will give the funds to the city. We will administer those funds in the proper way that HUD guidelines call for, and we both will get credit for the project. We estimate somewhere between 10 and 15 houses could be done in the area to improve the area.
Is there any funds from the city required to go into this?
Well, we typically would spend that kind of money anyway on the north side.
So this is HUD money that you
Yes.
administer
Yes.
already?
We'll
that
just
would be
match.
used- Okay. It's not like general fund money, is
No.
what I want to make sure, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you said that you would typically spend that type money over there anyway.
Over a 2-year period.
Okay, now, is this money spent on the rehab, is that spent on a first-come, first-served basis?
Well, we have a standing list.
I know,
yeah.
I know. That's
So
why I
what-
said, is it based on a first-come, first-served basis?
Based on our list, and when that applicant came in, it would be a first-come, first-served
So it
basis.
would not be the University Park, it would be all over?
No, they specifically have to spend their money in the University Park area.
Uh-huh.
We have applications from all sides of town, which include the University Park area. So what we would do, we would take our funds and match it with whatever funds they have for those clients that are in the University Park area. The University Park area is a very large area of town. Practically everything north of Pullen will qualify as far as the area.
Okay, so how much money do they have?
Approximately 95,000.
95,000?
Yes, ma'am.
That's not a lot of rehab at 15,000 each.
Well, we will be, and that's just an estimate. We'll be matching 50-50. If we go out and there's a unit that costs 20,000, we'll put 10 in and they'll put 10 in.
But actually, this is not so much, I think it's accentuating that it's UAPB, but it's actually the Economic Development Center with Mr. Golette. Is
Yes.
he here today?
No, he's not here today.
Okay. Well, it seemed that if this is his legislation that he is going to do, since you work for the city and he worked for them, then he should be here to plead his own case.
Well, we had went over it thoroughly.
Well,
we didn't.
but that was to you,
Yes.
but we are the one that's voting.
Well, I don't think he could have probably told you anything else I haven't told you.
Well, it probably not, because it's probably the same.
Any other questions for Mr. Matthews? Thank you, sir.
I just have one question.
Uh-huh.
What would this have to do with community development? Does it, I guess my concern is if you got a community development committee, does this have anything to do with community development?
As far as the department?
Yeah,
We have the expertise to administer it because we do it on a regular basis.
I understand it, but normally a project of concerning this, I thought that you would go through your committee and get approval from the committee, then it would come to the full council based on the recommendation from the committee. And my question is, what does that have to do with community development? Because it appears to me that the committee has been left out, and now it has come to the full council for the support, and the committee hasn't had any input in it. I'm just saying, I'm just asking the question.
I think this is the point. If you want to send it back to committee, I think this is the point.
No, don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to send it
Which
anywhere.
committee you speaking of?
I'm talking about the Community Development Committee. Should it have gone through the Community Development Committee like it normally does? And it appears that you're circumventing the committee and it bringing it to the full council for the support, and it hadn't gone through the proper process that it should have. And I'm asking you, should it have been done that way, or were we just really circumventing the committee process?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, is there a time limit on how long we have until the funds need to be spent or anything like that? Is there a rush on it?
We have been working on it, and in conjunction with Mr. Golet's department, we thought it would be a good time to bring it to.
Okay, well,
I think what you're asking is, that there's a time frame as far as when the money has to be spent by.
There is always a time frame in
Yes.
there's federal funds.
Yes, there
Federal
is.
funds.
well, I mean, if we have the time, I think it may be better for it to go through committee, let the committee approve it, and then bring it out to the full council. That may be a better way. That way we can get the answers that we need to get, beforehand.
Will that hurt you, Larry, if we put it back, let the committee review it and bring back a recommendation?
No, it doesn't. It's business as usual for us. We're going to continue on with what we're doing in community development.
Okay. So we need to pull it,
Um,
withdraw the motion? We need to withdraw the motion in a second.
Withdraw the second, Alderman Boyd.
Yeah.
And I'll withdraw the motion, and we'll send it to the Community Development Committee and ask them to review it and make a recommendation back at the next council meeting. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have a resolution appropriating funds for professional services relating to the multipurpose center and aquatics facility.
Whereas on April 7, 2014, the City Council adopted Resolution Number 3695, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Craft and Toll Nell Architectural Group for professional services relating to the multipurpose center and aquatics facility. And whereas pursuant to said resolution, $106,500 was approved for this project. Whereas it is the desire of the City Council for these funds to be appropriated from the bond reserve set aside by collections generated by the 5/8 sales tax adopted by the city. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, there is hereby appropriated the sum of $106,500 from the bond reserve funds account to pay for professional services and work related to the multipurpose center and aquatics facility to be performed by Craft and Toll Nelson Architectural Group.
Move for adoption.
Second.
We properly moved and second that a resolution appropriating funds for professional services relating to the multipurpose center and aquatics facility. Floor is now open for discussion. Hearing none, yes, ma'am?
I just want to make a statement. When I first read this, I was quite concerned because I was thinking, now, are we going to pay $106,000 to a firm that have not done work at this time? But after talking to Mr. Sadler, he called me, and they are not asking to receive the funds. They are just asking that they be made available when they do send out their invoices. So from that, I was okay with it.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, we have a resolution providing for placement of costs of correcting certain nuisance on tax books as delinquent taxes and collected as such.
Second.
I was waiting.
Good job.
It's been properly moved and seconded that a resolution providing for placement of cost of correcting certain nuisance on tax books as delinquent taxes and collected as such. Floor is now open for discussion.
Are there any additions or amendments, Mr. Boyd?
Let's see one.
He had one.
Okay, man, I need to amend that. Do everyone have a copy of this? Want me to take off this? Okay, I need to amend that to where we remove this particular item here from the list.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second that the resolution be amended to reflect Tony
C. and Tony.
C. and Tony, with the noted address. Floor is now open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye on the amendment.
Aye.
Any opposed? Amendment carries. Now the original
Move
motion.
for the original as amended.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly second that the original as amended be adopted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, that concludes our agenda.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a?
Oh, I move.
Move
I didn't hear
adjourn.
you, sir.
I move that we move.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the meeting be adjourned. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.